All right, so here we go for SAT. Couldn't find it. Okay, so here we go. Now, again, actually, question number 11 seemed to be the hardest. All right, so I want to go ahead and just work with you on that for a quick second. Now, again, there's no real explanation that I can say. Here's how you have to do it. This is a question that's just totally based off observation. Let me show you what I mean by that. All right. The first thing when I do is I look at these problems is I look at the answers and it's saying what is x equal in terms of what? In terms of y. That means there can't be any b's or c's. All right, so that's exactly correct. They're going to cancel out. So let me show you what I mean by that. The first thing is look up and see the first equation. You should try to simplify that. And when you simplify that, you should be able to say that b is equal to 2x minus 7. Anybody have any questions with that? And then for the second equation, you should be able to look at that and say, well, c is equal to 2y minus 7. Everybody got that down? Come on, Connor. I'm right up here. All right. Now, the next thing they're talking about here is that b is c minus 1/2. Everybody has to see that. All right. Any questions with that so far? All right. Now that you have that, that's when you're supposed to look at the answers. And you're supposed to see, well, I have B's and C's, but in my answer, there are no B's and C's. And so if there are no B's and C's, I have to get rid of the B and the C. That's exactly correct. So now what I'm trying to get you to realize is that this part right here, B is equal to 2x minus 7. That means wherever I see a B, I'm going to put 2x minus 7. If you think I'm playing games today, I'm not. Just to let you know. I don't care. You know exactly what I mean. I'm not playing games. I'm not having to worry about writing up here and what you're doing at your desk. Do not mess around with me today. So now B is equal to 2x minus 7. Now I'm looking for C. All right? C can be replaced with what? 2y minus 7. So this C right here is going to be replaced with 2y minus 7. So 2y minus 7 minus 1/2. All right? Now, what could I do to the minus 7s? They just do what? They just cancel out. All right? So I'm taking the minus 7s, crossing those out, and when you cross that out, you end up with 2x is equal to 2y minus 1/2. Now the question is, what is x? We have what? 2x. So now I have to divide everything through by what? 2. So I'm going to divide this by 2, this by 2, and this by 2. And they're hoping that you make one more careless mistake if you're not careful. X equals, all right, y. Now, when you look at 1/2 divided by 2, what is 1/2 divided by 2? 1/4. You have to be careful with that because a lot of kids accidentally wrote 1 down. So y minus 1/4. So the correct answer the whole time was what? A. Now listen to me. That's really, really, really hard. All right? That's one of the hardest systems equations I've seen. If you know what I just did right there, you understand that completely, you are in fantastic shape. If you're kind of having a little bit of trouble with it, seeing it, it's too hard. It's not going to be this hard on the test. All right? I'm just saying that's a really good problem. A really good problem if you understand systems. Yes. No, this one I thought was a little bit too hard. All right? I don't think after you practice it a couple times, It's not really that hard. All right, but initially it's very complicated. All right, so now let's take a look at question number 12. All right, does everybody agree I'm finding what x is, correct? So if I'm trying to find x, I need to eliminate the what? I need to eliminate the y. All right, now it might be easier to eliminate the x at first, but that's just going to require more work later. So right now, I know I have to eliminate the y. So if I'm going to eliminate the y, I'm going to multiply the top by what? -3 and the bottom by 4. All right, now one of them has to be negative. If you did 3 and -4, that's perfectly fine also. You could multiply the top by 2, but that you're going to be eliminating the x's. I'm trying to figure out what x is. You see what I'm saying? Now, you can do that, but then, yeah, it makes it just more time consuming. But once you solve for y, you just plug back in and solve for x. So it's not really that big of a deal. I'm just trying to say, throughout the test, they're going to say either solve for x or solve for y. And if they say solve for x, that means you got to eliminate the y. All right. Now look, when you distribute the -3, you end up with 9x minus 12y equals -60. And then we have 24x plus 12y equals positive 60. So right off the bat, you should be able to just say, well, x is then 0. Right? Now, how did I get that? Because 33x equals 0. So x has to be what? X has to be 0. Now, try to listen to what I'm telling you now. We got one more day to try to get this thing ironed out. We're just trying to go through the details. All right, now, this section I skipped in the book for a reason, because it's too easy. All right, so here's a problem to see if you understand how to do the inequalities, the systems of equations with inequalities. All right, again, it's about setting things up. All right, so now the person says that she can make $12 per hour as a tutor and $9.50 as a lifeguard. She can work no more than what? No more than 20 hours. Now the problem here is the average kid sees no more than and thinks it's what? Greater than, because it says more than. No more than means what? Less than. All right, less than or equal to 20. So what you're doing is the total hours worked have to be less than or equal to 20. Does A fit that? No, because that is a greater than. All right, so it's definitely not what? Definitely not A.
Or D.
Or what?
D.
Or D. All right, now, one of the things that I can tell you that makes you real successful when you're taking standardized tests is to cross out things you know are not true. All right? Now, the next thing is she wants to make at least 220. If she wants to make at least 220, that means she wants to make what? Greater than or equal to. All right? So now I'm looking at my answer here. Less than or equal to 200, that's not what they're asking. So we can just cross that out. So that means our answer is what?
C.
If you knew the answer was C, you're in good shape as far as systems of inequalities. All right? I don't think that's that hard. And that's a really good question to see whether or not you can translate the word problem into an actual sentence. All right? Very good if you got that correct. And hopefully you understood what I was saying about crossing things out. That way you don't have to check. All right? Once it's not correct, you can just move on. All right, question number 14. All right, now let's talk about 14. An easy way is, does everybody see a fraction here, right? So to me, I'm not a big fan of the fractions, right? So does everybody agree I could just multiply this by what? 2, and then we could just say that 2x plus y is equal to what? 21. Does everybody see that? Everybody good? Connor, you okay with that? Right now, what does y equal? So wherever I see a y, I can put what? So now I just have 2x plus 2x is equal to 21. 4x equals 21. X equals 21 over 4. And I'm done. That's it. If you put 5.25, I'm happy also. 5 over 2. No, that doesn't reduce down to 5 over 2. 21 over 4. Shh. Shh. Look and find your mistake. Come on now. Where are you at? Yeah. Okay. Well, it should still come out to be the same thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. How did you do it? Show me so I can tell you.
I did 1/2. So I did like wrote down the same thing. I did 1/2. In parentheses 4x.
Good, 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 good. So here's what you have: 1/2 4x equals 21 over 2, right?
Yeah. And then I did subtracted 1/2.
No, that's your mistake. So you're not subtracting because this is multiplication. Yeah, you just multiply both sides by 2.
But I checked it and I got y equals 2.
But we don't, it never says that y equals 2 as an answer. You see it now, right?
Yeah.
So we say 4x is equal to 21, and then x is 21 over 4. Those are details that I keep telling you. Fix them, right? That's what you're doing right now. I don't care about right or wrong, all right? Fix your mistakes. Everybody's good with that now? All right. You can do half of 4. Half of 4 would be 2x. And then you would have 2x is equal to 21 over 2. Then you divide by 2, and now x is 21 over 4. Same answer. Doesn't matter how you do it. You with me? All right, 15. Now, wow, I want to show you something real quick here because someone showed me something today that I hadn't thought about. Right? I did this as a substitution. Look up. Does everybody see 1/2 y is 4, right? So what I did was I just plugged 4 in there. So it was x minus 4 equals 2. So x equals what? 6.
Oh, I just canceled out the
Yay, very smart. Look up now again. Very, very good. Very good. I had not thought about that because I see it as a substitution. Does everybody see that 1/2 y is equal to 4? So I replaced 1/2 y with 4. But now listen to what somebody else said. Second person. No, watch me though. Watch. I know there are multiple ways. I'm trying to show you how I want you to think about something. Everybody look up. I want you to take a look at this. Now watch how even easier. You can just add them straight down. What's 1/2 y and negative 1/2 y? They cancel. So x equals 6 and we're done. Look how nice that is. Can you get 6 doing it 100 different ways? The answer is yes. You can. I don't care how you get the right answer. I'm trying to show you an alternative way of thinking about the numbers. That's what I'm trying to show you. All right? The average kid would just say, well, y is equal to 8. And then they plug 8 in for y. And then they solve it that way, which is multiple steps. Instead, we can just do what? Add that straight in. Is everybody with me on this? That's a great question. Very good. All right, here we go with 16. Now, 16, again, this was the section that I skipped. All right? What do you think I have to do on these? Tell them.
Do you have to separate the y?
Nope. You don't have to separate the y's. There's no mathematical way to do this other than to do what? Nope. What do I do to the numbers? Plug them in. All we're doing is we're taking the answers and plugging them in for x and y to see which one works. All right, so I'm going to plug in just so I can show you. The y value is negative 1. So is negative 1 less than or equal to 3 times negative 2 plus 1? Negative 1 is less than or equal to negative 5. Is that true? Is negative 1 less than negative 5? No, it's not. So is the answer A? No, the answer is not A. So now I'm going to plug B in. So 3 is less than or equal to negative 3 plus 1. Is 3 less than negative 2? No, 3 is not less than negative 2. So B is out. Now I'm plugging 5 in. 5 is less than or equal to 3 plus 1. Is 5 less than 4? No, there's nothing to this problem. The answer has to be D. All right? The answer has to be D because I just eliminated A, B, and C. Everybody good? All right, whenever they give you a solution, if you can't remember how to do the problem, you can do what? Plug it in to see what solution works. All right, here we go for 17. All right, and I don't think this one was hard because we know that y is equal to what? 18. So I'm plugging 18 in for y. So then x is equal to 2 times 18 divided by 3. It's better to do the 18 divided by 3, which is 6, and then 6 times 2, which is 12. So 2/3 of 18 is 12. Does anybody have any questions with how I got 12? And now what? I just plugged 12 in here. 2 times 12 minus 3 is in fact 21. A is correct.
Did you do 0.6?
Yeah, that's okay, but I want you should be able to look at that and say 18 divided by 3 times 2. You with me on that? I don't want to deal with 0.6 repeated. Okay? So here we go. 18. Now again, this one was kind of nice because we could do this mentally almost. Because the negative 3y and the 3y cancel out. So I have what? 13x equals 13. So I knew x was what? 1. And now that x is 1, I plug in 1 for x. And so I get 7 plus 3y equals 8. 3y equals 1. Y equals 1/3. So I agree with that. And then you just have 1 minus 1/3, which of course is what? 2/3. All right, that was not too bad. Any issues? Come on. All right, let's try 19 now. All right. Yeah, again, for this, the same thing. You could plug them in, but more importantly now, listen to me. I still don't like the fractions, so I think it's nice if you just say, I should go ahead and just multiply everything through by what? 2. All right, and when I do that, I end up with x plus 4y equals 12. Everybody agreeing with that? And so now I know that x is y minus 3, so I just put y minus 3 in for x. So now y minus 3 plus 4y equals 12. 5y equals 15, so y is equal to 3. Now for this problem right here, do I have to go any further? No, because what does it say y is? It says y is 3. The only one with a y value of 3 is what? Is b. Everybody okay with that? What? All right, here we go. Let's check out 20. Now, this one's, we've had this one on the test before. All right. What does B equal? B equals 20. Thank you very much. So if B is 20, then A minus 20 equals 12. So you have to be careful that you don't accidentally put what? 32 down. But the answer is what? Because they want A plus B. All right, so 20 plus 32. You have to, that's what I'm saying. The SAT, sometimes they can be a little tricky. If you're not careful, you don't read the right question. All right, so the correct answer there was 52. Now, let me just say one more thing before I close down. Again, I tried to tell you exactly what's on the test. All right, those 30 questions, I wouldn't worry as much about solving them as much as I would worry about what? Setting them up. I promise you, if you go through all 30, except for the ones I said to cross out, and you can kind of say, okay, how do I set this up? Because I promise you there's a digit problem. I'm pretty sure there was a numerator-denominator problem. I'm pretty sure there was, well, I know there's a distance, rate, time problem. I know there's a current problem or a wind problem. Right? I can tell you, they're just on there. All right? The sum of the two numbers is this, and one number is 5 more than the other. you know, the whole worksheet. All right, look over them. All right, 30 questions and these 20 questions. All right, practice. I don't want you talking anymore. I want you practicing. I didn't say that. Yeah, if you want to come practice during choice, that's a great idea. Right? Yes.
Do I have to take the A and C then?